Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match build-up for our game against PSV. Yes, when everyone else is playing the Premier League, we are playing the Europa League because we've already done everything in the Premier League. So we are giving everyone a chance to catch up with us. So we have now moved on to the Europa League just to let everyone get a chance to get to us in the Premier League. Big game. PSV is a big game for us. This is a game we must win game because we don't want to finish second. If PSV come to our place today and beat us and we finish second in the group, obviously we still have 2 more games remaining, but you would expect PSV to win them. They will have a tough game away to Bodo Glimt, and we are playing them away from home next week, but we have to try and win this one just to open the gap because it's very important to finish top of your group. Now, I already had the team. I didn't have the bench because Arsenal had not posted it, but they've now posted it, but we'll just go through it later on. Let's just go through the lineup. How are you guys doing? How confident are you for today's game? Back again, man. Back again. Let me know as always your prediction for the match. Let me know what you think about the lineup that I'm going to go through right now. Crucial game, absolutely crucial game. I'm happy I predicted from the predicted lineup. I got it. I got only one wrong. I'm very happy I got the striking very right. And let's go through it. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get through Arsenal's starting lineup for today. Let's start with the goalkeeper and the defense. So as always, this is the lineup. We know goalkeeper Matt Turner in the Europa League, no doubt about that. He has kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games, so no problem with that. Tomiyasu at right back. You would expect him to start in the Europa League, but there's a part of me thinking since he started the last 2 Premier League games and it's still an injury problem, I thought maybe it'd be left out for someone like a Cedric, but no. Tomiyasu starts at right back. I remember I've been asking you guys, centre back, who would you go for? Would you go for Holding and Gabriel or Holding and White? Some of you said you would go for Holding and Tomiyasu. Some of you said Holding and Saliba, but it is Gabriel and Holding, just like in the first 2 games against Zurich and Bodo Glimt. Gabriel and Holding start together at centre back. No problem with that at all. Some of you again did say Gabriel needs to rest, but remember last week he's not the one who played. I'm guessing Arteta's decided to do that in terms of defense in the Europa League. One day Holding starts with Saliba, the next day he starts with Gabriel just to rotate because Saliba started once in the Europa League. Gabriel has not started 3 times. Maybe next time away to PSV, maybe it's going to be Ben White and Holding at centre back and not Gabriel and Holding. So I have no problem with that. All of them are important in our team. And at left back, Kieran Tierney plays at left back. No problem with that at all. The last couple of games we've seen Tierney playing, he's been playing almost like an inverted left back, meaning he's going into midfield, into central midfield instead of going forward in terms of a left winger. So he's not pushing forward that much. He's actually coming to midfield most of the times, which is interesting. Let's see what he does today. Is he going to go all the way to the wing to put in the crosses, or will he stay back, or will he join Lokonga in midfield? That is what we are waiting to see. Let's see what happens with that with Kieran Tierney. So that is the defense: Tierney, Gabriel Holding, Tomiyasu, and Matt Turner in goal. Next up, let's go through the midfield. Lokonga starts, no doubt about that. Thomas Partey definitely needs to rest. I do not want to see, if Partey had to play a game in the Europa League, then this would have been the one, because this is a very crucial game, but no problem with Partey being rested. Lokonga starts in defensive midfield. Listen, I still don't think Lokonga is a defensive midfielder, like playing there by himself. But it's because we don't have anyone else there to play. It would have been El Neni if he was fit. I think Lokonga should be playing in the Xhaka position, but since we have no one else to play next to apart from Partey, then we have to play Lokonga there. But in the future, I don't think Lokonga is a defensive midfielder. But anyway, he plays there today. And Grant Xhaka starts this time round. Last week, Xhaka did not start against Bodo Glimt. This time he does. Fabio Vieira starts again as well. Last week, it was not only him. Odegaard as well, Nelson, Ketia, all these guys were very quiet against Bodo Glimt. I mean, we only had 1 shot in that game, so you didn't really expect a lot from that. But only 1 shot against Bodo Glimt last week. That was a bit terrible still. So let's see if he can get a bit of the ball today, try and create a few more chances today, and get a goal like he did at home to Bodo Glimt 2-3 weeks ago. So that is the midfield that we have today. Again, as expected, The only change there that I didn't think was I thought Tomiyasu would be at left back and then maybe Ben White at right back. So that is what I got wrong in the... Was it what I got wrong? This was the predicted lineup that you can see on screen. No, I actually predicted Tomiyasu to play at right back. This was the predicted lineup I did 2 days ago. So yeah, I got it spot on. And in terms of the forward line, I got 2 of them spot on, but 1 of them wrong. So I'm very glad I predicted Jesus and Kete to start together because they actually have started together. Maybe I can actually become the Arsenal manager. Jesus and Nketiah start together now. It doesn't have to be Jesus up front and Nketiah on the left. It could be Nketiah up front and then Jesus on the left. It could also be Saka on the left, Jesus on the right, and Nketiah up front. But Jesus is pretty good in that position. When he came on against Bodo Glimt, he played at the left as a left winger, and he absolutely tore apart their right back to assist Fabio Vieira's goal that day. On his Arsenal debut against, was it Nuremberg in the friendly preseason, he played as a right winger and he scored like 30 seconds into his debut. So no problem with Jesus playing as a winger. Some of you would say he needs to be rested, but remember last week he didn't play against Bodo Glimt, and also there was a couple of weeks during the international break that he didn't play as well. So the likes of, I think Martinelli does need a rest more than Jesus, because Martinelli has basically played almost every single game this season. So that is the forward line, and that is the whole lineup. Sotana, Gabriel Holding, Tomiyasu Tierney, Lokonga, Xhaka, Fabio Vieira, Nketiah, Saka, and Jesus up front. So that is the lineup that we have today. In terms of the bench, let's bring up the bench. I don't have the bench there because Arsenal not released the lineup, but we do have 2 goalkeepers, Ramsdale and KJ Hine as the goalkeepers on the bench. We also have White on the bench too as defensive cover next to Saliba. Thomas Partey makes the bench as well with Odegaard. Martinelli is also on the bench. He actually missed training, I think, 2 days ago, but it's because he was feeling ill. I think something like a cold or something like that, but he is okay. And then Marquinhos, Nelson, Cedric as well on the bench, and Sargent and Edwards. So ideally as well, just like last week, you want to have a 3-goal lead so that you can take off the likes of Saka and maybe bring on the likes of Nelson. But this is a big game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Partey coming on, Odegaard coming on, and all those players. We will take a look at PSV's lineup very soon, but let me see what you guys are saying. What is your prediction? Cornelius says good luck. Hope everything goes well from Gabriel. Arsenal win 2-1 says Tunde. Sure win says Ambrose. Good luck from Udewena. Arsenal 2-1 says Hansong. Good luck from Hassan. Saint says we are the Arsenal. Sure win from Clinton. Good luck Gunners. The game starts at what time? It starts in 1 hour. Sanson. Banjo says Arsenal 3-1. Good luck to Arsenal, says Kingsley. For the win, hopefully you can get a win. I mean, if you just keep on winning this, if you make winning a habit, it feels good. These days, we are so used to winning, it's crazy. Like, I'm actually going into this game just expecting a win. It's never like that. Like, over the past few seasons, you play Liverpool and you're like, I will take a draw. If we draw, it's fine. If you play Tottenham, you're like, yeah, we need to win, but even if it's a draw, it's fine. Or next up, it's Wolves away. Oh my goodness, that's usually tough. We'll take a draw. These days, like, I'm literally just expecting Arsenal to win against PSV home and away, against Zurich, against Wolves, against Nottingham, Southampton, and also Chelsea before the World Cup. I'm just expecting win after win. Obviously, don't be surprised if we draw, maybe lose one game there, but these days, we are used to winning, so it's a good feeling. Isa says 3-1, 3-0 from Justin, 4-2 from Saints, 3-1 from Kibet from Kenya. I'm going for a win. Arsenal 3-1, says Zimba. Arsenal win it, says Bernard. Jalili says good luck. Come on, you Gunners. Gray, how are you? Gunners all the way, says Timo 3-3-1. Baba Musa says Arsenal win 3-0. PSV have scored a bunch of goals this season, especially in the Europa League, so I wouldn't put it past them to score. And also this season at home, we haven't been that great. So let me just bring up the PSG lineup right now. In fact, let me just see who they have today in terms of their lineup, and also take a look at our bench. I think PSV will score. They've been scoring a lot in the Europa League, in fact, this season. Let me do this. See, so Arsenal, that is the Arsenal lineup on the left, and then for PSV they have Benitez in goal. Hope you can see that. Let me just do this. So they have Benitez in goal. They have Max at left back. They have Mwene at right back. They have Ramallo, and Armando at centre back. Midfield, they have Gutierrez and Sangare. I'm pretty sure we've been linked to Sangare before. They have Xavi Simons as the right winger. They have Cody Gakpo as the left winger. We've definitely been linked to Cody Gakpo in the last transfer window alongside Man United. Central, not central midfield. Number 10, they have Verman, and then up front they have Teal. So that is their lineup. The likes of Gakpo and Simons are definite threats. I think they put 6 past Zurich last time or something crazy like that. 5 goals and 4. They are scoring a lot of goals. And then remember their manager, PSV's manager is Ruud van Nistelrooy. Yeah, the one guy that scored the penalty to take away our 49-game unbeaten run. The guy who the likes of Martin Keown absolutely hate, Ruud van Nistelrooy. The only guy who beat Thierry Henry to the Golden Boot between 2001 to 2006 when Thierry Henry was winning every single Golden Boot. Ruud van Nistelrooy was the only guy to beat him once. So he is, we don't like him at Arsenal, basically. He was part of that Man United team that we hated with Roy Keane and Gary Neville and all those guys. So we have to try and beat Ruud van Nistelrooy. We cannot let him come to the Emirates and win. They have Waterman in on the bench. They also have Dramel, Junior, Hoiver, Branthwaite. They have Teze, Ledesma, El Ghazi, former Premier League player there. El Ghazi used to be very good for Aston Villa. I don't know what happened. And they also have Madueke, and Luke de Jong and Savio and Bakayoko on the bench. And as I said, for us, Carl Hine, Ramsdale, Ben White, Cedric Saliba, Martinelli, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Sarjan, Nelson, Marquinhos, and Edwards. So Edwards is a forward. That is our bench, and that is the starting lineup. So what I wanted to see is how many goals they've actually scored this season in the Europa League alone, because they have been pretty good. I think they've been... We beat Zurich 2-1. They went to Zurich and scored like 6 goals. So there's a difference right there. So let's see how important a win will be today. So Arsenal are on 9 points, PSV are on 7. Yes, they've scored 11 goals in the Europa League this season. We've scored 6. So they've almost doubled the number of goals we've scored this season. That is why I think they're going to score. They're pretty good. If we can keep a clean sheet against them, absolutely wonderful. The Bodo Glimt have already played against Zurich. So both of us have played 3 games with PSV. Obviously, this is a game in hand. We were supposed to play it like 1 month ago. If you win this game, you go through. If we beat PSV today, we go through. But not yet top of the table. All we'll need to do next week is to go to PSV and draw. If we win today, you go to PSV next week and draw. The last game against Zurich, you can rest everyone. That home game against Zurich, you can rest literally everyone. I think right after that, we'll have Nottingham Forest at home, or I think we'll have Wolves away from home, or Chelsea, one of those teams, I don't remember. But we will have an away Premier League game. I think it's Wolves or Chelsea. So win today, very, very crucial. But if it goes the opposite and PSV beat us, they will go to 10 points and we will be on 9. That means we will be second, they will be first, and we will be going to their place next week, which will be harder. So that is why I have no problem with Jesus playing today. I predicted him to start. No problem with players like Saka starting today. We have to try and get that win. Some of you had said start Nelson, leave Saka on the bench, start Marquinhos, leave Jesus on the bench. No, not against PSV. We cannot afford to rotate everyone. This is a massive game. I keep on reminding guys, if we finish second in your group in the Europa League these days, first of all, you go to the round of 32 and you get to face one of the teams that are dropping off from the Champions League. So if we finish second in this group, in February, we could end up facing Barcelona. We could end up facing Juventus. We could end up facing Ajax, which I don't want right now. I don't want to be facing those teams coming from the Champions League in the round of 32. If you're going to face them later in the quarterfinal, semi-final, fine. But you try to make it as easier as possible for you. You can't afford to make things harder than they are. And already the schedule is packed, so you try to make it easier as it is. Remember, we also have Brighton at home in the Carabao Cup. Brighton is not easy to play against, so games are tough. The FA Cup will be there next year as well. We don't want to go out in the first round this time round. So that is how the group looks. Win the game, 12 points, PSV on 7. You literally go to PSV next week wanting a draw. And even if disaster happens and we win today and we go to PSV next week and lose, there's still no problem because the last home game is at home to Zurich. You would expect us to win because Zurich have already conceded 14 goals in the 4 games. They are the boys to beat in the group, basically. So that is how things are looking right now. In case they're just joining, Arsenal's lineup today. Keep sending in your prediction. This is our lineup. We have Tana in goal. We have Tierney, Gabriel Holding, and Tomiyasu at right back. We have Lokonga, Jacques, and Fabio Vieira in midfield, and Ketia, Jesus, Saka up front. I'm pretty sure this is the first time Ketia and Jesus are starting together. Last week, we got to see Fabio Vieira and Odegaard playing together. This time round, we get to see Ketia and Jesus playing together. I cannot wait to see how they do. They played together in the friendly matches, and remember they were very good. This game, I remember this celebration, I think it was against Orlando City the time they went to US, and they did quite well. Let's see how they do together today. It could be a combination. If you're going to rest the likes of Saka and Martinelli, you might need these players to play together once in a while. So that is the lineup on screen. They have Nketiah on the left. That is the same as me. They have Fabio Vieira, Lokonga, Xhaka. So I think that is basically how it's going to look, but Jesus will be changing a lot. Don't be surprised to see Jesus changing a lot. Let's see what you guys are saying in terms of prediction. My prediction, by the way, I'm going to go for Arsenal 3, PSV 1, but I think they will score. They are a pretty good team, so I wouldn't be surprised if they scored. And also considering we've changed, I mean, Tierney, Gabriel, Tomiyasu Holding is not a bad backline. I mean, we've had worse. Remember the time we had Santos at left back, Debussy at right back, Mustafi and Aslo Matasaka. That used to be bad because he knew if Koscielny or Montreal got injured, you're in trouble. But this time round, literally have no problem with starts. Even if Cedric started, it's okay. That's how confident I am these days. Thomas, come on, you Gunners, let's go for another victory, says Thomas. Gunners all the way, says Timothy. Arsenal will win. Good luck. 3-2, says Manuel. Ibrahim says good luck. Let's see. Edward says, thanks, Glenn. Arsenal win. PSV can't beat us. No, I don't think they can beat us at home, but I think they will score, not beat us. I mean, it would be a disaster if they came to our place and beat us, because we'll make it very hard, because going to their place next week is going to be tougher than what it is this day today. I mean, even if we draw both games, but I would still expect a win. I want to keep on winning. I think they still have a tough game. They still have to go to Glimt. That is a tough game for them. They drew with Glimt at home in the first match day. And remember how we played with Glimt last week? We should have lost that game. We only had one shot in that match, and Glimt should have had like 4. So it's going to be tough for them there. 3-1, says Christopher. 3-1 as well from Kazim and Charles, and also Yamina. Good luck, says Dan Juma. As always, by the way, I'll be back right after the game. Hope everything goes well, says Ziza. 2-0, says Brisbane. Today we're not seeing a lot of 5-0s and 4-0s. The last couple of weeks, a lot of people have been saying Arsenal 4, Glimt 0, Arsenal 4, Leeds 0. Today, I think people are more realistic. People respect PSV. I want Arsenal to top the group early enough to avoid unnecessary stress. Exactly, prophetic. Exactly. That is what we want. We want to win the game today, get the job done, focus on the Premier League before the World Cup. Things will get harder. Remember, especially next year, things will keep on getting harder. But as I say, right now, we are giving other teams to catch up with us, a chance to catch up with us. We don't even need to play the Premier League. Deng says 3-1 as well. 3-2, Manuel from Kenya. Abu says 5-1, the first 5 we are seeing. Listen, Abu, if we get 5-1 win, I am not going to complain at all. 3-1 says Clever. 2-0 from Simon. It says the PSV fans were moving mad in King's Cross today on the way to work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, those are the kind of teams that travel with like 20,000 fans to a different country. PSV, Galatasaray, such teams, you don't want to mess around with them, and they have very loyal fans. I've also seen a couple of their fans talking trash on Twitter, saying we are going to show Arsenal, even PSV themselves on their Twitter account. I think they said they're looking for Gabriel Jesus or something like that. Let's hope they find him today. I just walked by Arsenal Park ever so proudly. These days, you put on the Arsenal shirt and walk around as much as you want. It's not going to be easy, Arsenal to win 1-0, says Hamza. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's not going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be 1-0. I think it's going to be more high-scoring than that. Have we played PSV before? I'm sure we have. What's our record? In terms of playing PSV before, the only game I remember playing PSV was back in 2007 or something like that, in the Champions League days. And if I remember right, if my memory serves me right, I think it was Alex. Remember the Alex who used to play for Chelsea, the Brazilian defender? I think he scored against us, and they actually eliminated us. I think that was 2007. That was the last time we played against PSV. I don't remember any other time we've played against them. But yeah, they eliminated us from the Champions League in 2007 or 8, one of those years. It was terrible. Alex scored against us and then Chelsea bought him. Belletti scored against us in the Champions League final. Chelsea bought him. Samuel Eto'o scored against us in the Champions League final. Chelsea bought him. Like, Chelsea do that a lot. They buy players who scored against Arsenal. But still, London is red still. Kazim says 3-1. Saka and Jesus to score, says Musa. I will confirm for you the record, Ace. Winning this game easily, says Philip. Fred says, who's Surgeon? He is a youngster from the under-23s. That is who he is. Good luck to the boys. 4-1. I think he plays a midfielder, Fred. 3-1, says Kamara. Might be 3-2, or if we really get through them, could be 4-2. Might be different at their ground, though. Let me just check those stats in terms of how they've done this season. Arsenal says why. This is going to be a tough one for us. I can go with 3-2. Arsenal should win. If we win today, man, I'll be very, very happy, man. You basically clinch top of the table, and the season keeps on going good. Next up, it's Southampton away from home in the league. Again, another game that we don't like. Southampton away, they always find a way to beat us. But this time around, I'm very confident. 2-1 from Kelvin. Arsenal will win. Lineup is good, says Haron. Arsenal fighting, says Akar. Good days, good luck, Arsenal. 3-1. Let me just check PSV results this season. Let me just check here. So PSV in the last home game, oh wow, they trashed Utrecht 6-1 in their league this weekend. And before that, they beat Zurich 5-0. So they've scored 11 goals in the last 2 games. Yeah, they score a bunch of goals. So that is why I think they're going to score. I mean, we are not Utrecht or Zurich, but they have a good forward line. They beat Heerenveen 1-0. They also beat Zurich 5-1 before that. So they scored 5 goals against Zurich home and away. We only scored 2 goals against Zurich. They lost to Cambuur 3-0. They beat Feyenoord 4-3. They drew with Glimt 1-1. They lost to Twente 2-1. They beat Volendam 7-1. They beat... These guys this season have won 6-1. They've won 7-1. They've won 5-1. They've won 5-0. They've won 6-1 again. That is a lot of goals they score. That is a bunch. So they're very confident in terms of going forward. They're not going to come to our place and park the bus. That is definitely something they're not going to do. 2007, that's the last, same Alex that scored against us at Chelsea, that crazy free kick. Yeah, he's the guy who used to thump free kicks, absolutely powerful strikes. There's one day that he almost took away the goal. I think it was against Middlesbrough. PSV, if you just search Alex against Middlesbrough in the league, that free kick was crazy. So PSV this season in their league, they've played 10 games and they've scored 35 goals. That is even more than Ajax have scored in that league. That is a lot. 35 goals scored in 10 games. And in the Europa League, they've already scored 11 in 3 games. So in total, they've scored 46 goals in 13 games. That is a lot. We're not anywhere close to that. I think we've scored like 30 in the games that we've played. PSV have scored 46 in 12 games. That is more than 3 goals a game, right? That is almost 4 goals per game on average. Francis says 3-1. Colin says we have some Kool-Aid getting consumed. 5-1 to Arsenal. Colin is saying someone is drinking that good. PSV is better team than some of you are thinking. We are going to be fortunate to walk away with this with a draw, says Colin. I would still expect us to beat them at our place, but it's definitely going to be tough away. That is why I want us to definitely win this one, because I know going to their place, I just want a draw, honestly. My team, Arsenal says JS. Jackson says 2-0, 3-1, 4-0 says Selena. I mean, I hope Selena has had the stats, but it seems like Selena does not care how good PSV is. She definitely trusts Arsenal a lot. 2-2 draw. We should put our strongest 11 out here. I mean, we have made a couple of changes, but that is why I said with the likes of Saka and Jesus. 3-2 says John. Winning all the way says James. PSV are a good team, but Arsenal will win against them easily. Easily. I'm not sure about easily. Arsenal 2-1 says Aina. Listen, if we play like the way we've been playing this season, start the game and score within the first 5 minutes, we can open them up. But for them as well, they are a very good team. Freddie is a midfielder. Edward says, please, Glenn, we are not scared of their win. That does not matter. Even if they won 21, we do not care about that, says Edward. The hardest league, that's not the hardest league in the world. That is true. That is very true. But I'm also trying to compare them with Ajax, and they've done better than Ajax this season, although Ajax is ahead of them in the table. And Ajax have been playing in the Champions League with Liverpool and Napoli. Let me just check how many times we've played PSV recently. I only remember that 2007 or something game. 3-1 from JS. Arsenal, we are going to win this game 3-1, says Francis. It's hard, but it will come out in this game. Yeah, these days I really trust the team. That is why I'm never even concerned. Like, you can give me Bayern Munich today if you want. I'd predict 3-1 to Arsenal. That's how confident I am. So we have played PSV 7 times in history, and we've beaten them twice. They've beaten us once, and we've drawn 4 times. So 7 games, we've only beaten them twice. And the last time we played them was 2007. So they beat us at their place 1-0, and we drew at our place 1-1. That's the last time they came to the Emirates. And then before that, we are going way further than that. Obviously, the Thierry Henry days. At home, at our place, we've drawn twice, and we've only ever beaten them once at our place. But that is history. This is today. This is Super Mick Arteta's team. This is the Gabriel Jesus days. This is not those days with this time I think we had the likes of Giroud, Senderos. This is not those days. 4-1, says someone. Hopefully we can get that kind of win. 3-1, says JS. 2-1, says Clinton. A good test for Cody Gakpo, an avenue to know if he's worth banking on. Very good point, Emmanuel. We now have 2 games to take a look at how good he is, for those who don't get to watch PSV games a lot. High possibility of winning, says JS. Oh, come on, Setumo. That is so boring. 0-0. There's no chance this game ends 0-0. PSV have scored 46 goals. Arsenal have scored like 30 goals this season. That is like a total of 76 between the 2 teams already, close to 100 goals in October. There's no way this game ends 0-0. I'm 100% certain that game that is not ending 0-0. 100%. The attacking line is too good for both teams. So let's go through the team one more time. Remember, I'll be back right after the match. We have 45 minutes to go. Benitez, Max, Obispo, Ramalno, Moene, Sangare, Gutierrez, Gakpo, Veerman, Simmons, and Thiel for them. For us, Jesus, Saka, Fabio Vieira, Nketiah, Xhaka, Lokonga, Tomiyasu, Holding, Gabriel, Tierney, and Matt Turner. And then on our bench, Karl Hein, Ramsdale, Ben White, Cedric Suarez, Saliba, Martinelli, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, Serjan, Nelson, Marquinhos, and Edwards. So I know this game is going to be tough. That is why I've said I don't expect the youngsters to come on unless we score 4-0 as some of you are predicting. But I would expect Odegaard to come on, Partey, Martinelli, all these guys to come on. PSV's bench, Waterman, Dromel, and now it decides to reset. Thank you very much, SofaScore. But anyway, they do have Ruud van Nistelrooy on their bench as well. We have to beat them. We cannot allow Ruud van Nistelrooy to beat us at our place. 3-1 from Moretzi, 2-1 from Ayele, 2-1. I'm going to go for 3-1. I'm going to go for Jesus to score. I am going to go for Saka to score. And hopefully Fabio Vieira can get another home goal. I don't think you guys care about PSV's bench anyway. But we have Branthwaite, Ledesma, Tez, El Ghazi, former Premier League player, Noni, Luke de Jong, former Barcelona player, Savio, and Bakayoko. Right now, they only have 3 injuries, and we also have 3 injuries. I'm really hoping Zinchenko can recover soon. I hate it when our players get injured, especially new players. He's not even finished 3 months at Arsenal. He's already gotten injured like 4 times. That is a concern. Hopefully, during the World Cup, he can get time to rest. But that is the lineup for today. 3-1 to Arsenal. As always, I will be back right after the match. Come on, Arsenal. Let's get this win.